In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to float this jaw and then remate it so it acts as it would in the real assembly and it can slide in and out as shown here. So the first thing I'm going to do is Control Tab back to my other assembly, and we see the jaw is still fixed. Now before I float it, I want to be very careful because I've created stuff in the context of the assembly, meaning as it shows here, these were all created in the context. This feature here, I want to leave the in-context relationship. So if I decide later to change the size of this jaw, this one updates with it. But I need to be careful here because if I move this off to the side after I float it, this will update and look really odd. I also want to be careful here because this was created in context, as was this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this part. And I'm going to break this in-context relationship. So I'm going to right-click on this feature. I'm going to tell it to show me the external references, and I'm going to tell it to break all. And it'll give me a warning, and I'll say, yep, I'm sure I want to do this. It'll take a minute, and then I'm going to close that. We notice now it shows it was created in the context, but I've broken the references. Same thing here. I'm going to right-click on this. I'm going to list the external references, and I'm going to tell it to break all and say OK. It's going to take a minute, and then I'll close this window. So once again, we see it's created in context and I've broken it, but that's okay. I'm going to stop editing that part. And now that I've broken the external references, if I change the size of this, these won't update with it, but that's okay. I'm not likely to change the size of those. So the next thing I want to do is come up here to my jaw, right click on it, and tell it to float. So when I broke those references, I want to be careful here. You can see it's going to move all around. And if I rebuild it now, this jaw is going to change to stay up to this because that's the condition being told here. So before I go much further, I'm going to take the front plane of my sliding jaw. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to hold Control, select the front plane of my base, and I'm going to make those planes coincident. Then I'm going to scroll in here. I'm going to select this face. I'll rotate around a bit. I'll hold Control and select this face. And I want a distance mate here of 10 thou. I'm going to accept that. But I want to rotate around a bit and look at it and make sure the 10 thou is the right way. So if I had it the wrong way, these would be interfering. And to fix that, I would come down here, expand this mate folder, right click on this, and just tell it to flip the dimension. But it's fine. So let's rotate around and back here. Now, what happens is this jaw moves back and forth this way. So next I want to limit its distance of movement. So I'm going to select this face. I'll rotate around, hold Control, select this face, release Control, and this time I'm going to use a limit distance mate. So I'll select it. It'll take a minute and the window will pop up. This shows the current distance. I'm going to set the maximum open distance to 1 inch, and then I'll set the closed distance, the minimum distance, to 0. I'll say OK. I don't want to flip the alignment. I'll just click in white space and then I'll test it. So it goes until they touch and it comes out to here and everything's working properly. So I'm just going to select the isometric view. I'm going to rebuild and save my work, and we'll continue adding components and mating them in the next video.